Hello, everybody. Welcome to the MTG Place podcast. I'm your host, Corey, and with me, like always, is James. How's it going, James?
Doing good. How are we doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. And we're also joined by Josh, the guy that does all the vintage cube videos on YouTube.
What's up, guys?
So today we're going to talk about the commander cards from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, ones you can get in the commander set, and the ones that are like in set boosters only type things.
So, not core set cards.
Right.
There's a few, and we will go through the rares like we normally do in the mythics. Starting with the whites and then going around the circle.
Yeah, we won't be talking about reprints, just new cards.
Yeah, I don't know how many reprints are in this one, but yeah, that's the plan. So our first card that we got here is called Bronzebeak Foragers. It is 3 and a white for a 3/4 dinosaur creature. When Bronzebeak Foragers enters the battlefield, for each opponent, exile up to one target non-land permanent that player controls until this leaves the battlefield. And then it also has X and a white, or you pay that. Put target card with mana value X exiled with Bronzebeak Foragers into its owner's graveyard, you gain X life. Okay, so it's kind of got like an O-ring effect, but then you can basically make something go away forever. That's
right.
What I'm saying here.
Yeah, as long as you pay that mana. But it's better than O-ring. It's the grasp of fate of commander cards.
Yeah, because it's the multiple. Yeah.
Each opponent. Yeah. I like it because it's dinosaurs. I run a dinosaur myself, but it's a creature, which I don't really like. Like Grasp of Fate, it's an enchantment. Those are harder to kind of like get rid of.
Yeah, there's only specific things to get rid of that.
This can kind of die pretty quickly.
I mean, at least it doesn't die to bolt or, other things like that. It does have a bigger booty, but, 4 is still not that much. So, yeah, it can die pretty easily.
Yeah.
It also has a lot of mana just to gain some life.
Yeah, that is.
You do permanently, quote unquote, get rid of the thing with doing that, but
and you gain the life,
and you gain life. So
it's a payoff, sure, but
for me, I'd be happy if you did that because I'm like, oh, now I can just reanimate it from the graveyard.
Now it's back in my graveyard. Yeah. I mean, it's better than coming right back out onto the battlefield. So,
I don't know. It's all right.
It's okay.
There's better cards though.
I'd still run in my Dino deck. I mean, there's slim choosing.
Yeah, it would work with that tribe for sure.
Sure ain't crazy though.
Yeah, it's nothing to go home about though. All right, who wants this this charismatic guy?
All right, I guess it'll be my turn. Charismatic Conqueror. 1 mana, 1 white, so 2 mana total for a 2/2 Vigilance. Whenever an artifact or creature enters the battlefield untapped under an opponent's control, they may tap that permanent. If they don't, you create a 1/1 vampire creature token with lifelink. I think this is nuts. Just nuts.
Yeah, that seems pretty decent, right?
There's a lot of enchantments that go down and force your opponents to become tapped, but just giving this an option to your opponents is kind of like, it's a big deal. Like you've seen Rhystic Study, and a lot of people don't
exactly.
Pay for Rhystic Study,
no one ever pays the 1
so
ever.
You're just going to get juiced up. You're just going to get these 1/1 vampire tokens so much.
I mean, nobody's going to want to have their Sol Ring enter tapped.
No, that seems like a terrible deal.
Nobody's going to want their Mana Vault to enter tapped. Like,
no, oh God,
you're just going to be like, oh, sweet, thanks for the 1/1s.
And I get a 1/1, and I get another 1/1, and you also potentially get life from said
token decks. Well. They got doubling seasons, and
they got ways to
getting a lot of value.
There's ways to give them +1/+1 counters or whatever. Like
being a stacks piece 2 at 2 mana is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's also
that's a really cheap cost.
Yeah, if you have an Edgar deck, this is pretty good.
This is amazing for an Edgar deck.
And it's some reason a soldier too.
Yeah. It's the
Yeah, so
soldier decks too.
you can have a Captain of the Watch or some shit. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. This
something
seems
that gives
nuts.
that pumps your shit and makes more. Like, yeah, this card can go crazy easily.
Yeah, love it. Love it.
Next card we got is Alenda's Hierophant. It is 2 and a white for a 1/1 vampire cleric with flying. Whenever you gain life, put a 1/1 counter on it. And whenever it dies, create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is its power.
Okay, so you pump it up a bunch, and then when it dies, you make a bunch of dudes. That's what it looks like.
It's
Yeah.
good with that previous card. You have a bunch of
Yeah.
lifelinkers.
Yeah, it really is.
My buddy's got a life gain deck that's like incidental life, so he wants these triggers. Like we saw Johnny Pride made, which is basically this card, but with
Yeah,
flying.
pretty much.
And just
Mhm.
wanted to abuse it. And yes, this having flying is awesome. Evasive while getting huge.
Right. Plus,
Love
all
it.
your aristocrat shenanigans, you're just going to make this bigger. So
Oh yeah,
True. Yep.
yeah. This can be very, very good in the right kind of deck for sure. As long as
and
you're
then
able to gain that
if
life.
they kill it, you at least get 1/1s back for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a bonus, I think, but it's a good one.
Yeah, it's a really good bonus because in a way it makes it more sticky because unless they have like some way to deal one to everything or whatever, like that's a lot harder to deal with multiple things than one big thing.
Right. They
So-
want to board wipe, and once they board wipe, oh, I have a board again.
Yeah, oops.
got
I didn't
another
do
one of
anything,
those?
buddy. Yeah, this is pretty good, definitely. Especially anything that gains life, this will, or a fair amount at least. It'll work pretty well with this card for sure. All right, so we got a white enchantment here called From the Rubble. It is 4 white. As it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. At the beginning of your end step, return target creature card of the chosen type from the graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it.
I choose
like-
dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like how it's end step, so you do get
Yeah.
it right away. That's much nicer than like the beginning of your upkeep has
Yeah,
usually been the thing.
So you basically can block with it or whatever.
Yeah.
Or maybe do some kind of triggered effects or something.
6 mana's pretty
6
bad.
mana?
I mean,
It's a little high.
I think it's still cheaper than the other ones because I think the other ones will like Ray of Downbringer's like 7, right? And the
Yeah.
what is
The finality counter though is huge. Like usually
Right,
when you're
considering
reanimating, you want to kind of maybe do that again and
Yeah,
again.
more than once,
and this is
possibly.
one time. One time is all you get.
Once and only once you can bring your stuff back.
yeah, I think it's
I mean,
good
it's
in
still fine.
like a tribal deck where you're not playing a bunch of reanimation normally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, it's white. White doesn't exactly reanimate a lot, so I guess that can be good. It's not green, it's not black,
But you
But-
you have to have it in your graveyard, so you're like you
Yeah.
are the reanimate things. Like if you miss a trigger once, it's like that's pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's
if you
true.
didn't
Yeah.
have- I don't know. I'm not high on it.
Yeah, it's mid, I think.
I mean, I guess would you rather just play like Resurrection, the 4 mana, get a creature back?
Probably.
The sorcery?
Depending, yeah,
honest.
probably.
Like you would have to have this hit twice to make it better.
Yeah. And I don't know what the chances of that are going to be, so.
In your tribal decks too, you are running sometimes kind of like off tribal stuff, like say Dockside Extortionist. You
Right.
got to run that card, and it's not part of your tribal. Maybe you want to reanimate that, and this one.
Yeah, it's like,
can't.
well, now you're not gonna. Sorry.
All right, Illustrious Wanderglyph is our next one. 5 mana, 4 and 1 white, 2/2 artifact creature golem. It has Ascend. That's if you control 10 or more permanents, you become Ascended forever. Other artifact creatures you control get +2/+2 as long as you have the city's blessing. That's being Ascended. But at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature token.
There you go.
This
Get
is
the gnomes.
comparable
There's your
to
gnomes.
Tendershoot Dryad. Love the Tender Shrew Dryad in my dear heart. Each upkeep is awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Um,
Each.
being artifacts is pretty key, actually. Like, there's some crazy stuff you can do with artifacts. A lot of things
Yeah, I
care
mean,
about it.
especially if you have like the Karn Structs and all that.
Karnstruck or like an Urza, all of
Yeah.
that's just mana. It being an artifact itself, you can like tutor it up and do some
It's also
crazy
a
shenanigans.
golem if you play like Stoneblade or Stoneforge or whatever your deck. It gets a buff from that.
I'm a huge Tender Shoot Dryad fan, and so this is up my alley. This is a card I love.
I mean, it's
Yep.
going to be pretty easy to get the blessing. I feel like 'cause you're buffing, like you're going to have 4 tokens by the time it goes back.
One
to your
go
turn.
around, you got
Like
5
one go
permanents.
around, you got like 5 things,
Yeah.
and you have to have 5 lands to play this. So like,
Quote unquote 5
ish, yeah,
Yeah, but yeah,
5-ish. So you're probably going to have it by the time it goes back to your turn.
Yeah, and then they're bigger at least. I mean,
Yep.
they're three. There's a big difference between a 1/1 and a 3/3, man. Like that's a significantly higher amount of power.
Yep.
So
Yep. It's
yeah,
exactly
that's pretty good.
Tender Shoot Dryad, but for artifacts. But actually, this is artifact creatures you control get +2/+2. So
Oh yeah, so it
Shoot's
buffs
just
your other
Saplings.
creatures too.
This could that's pretty broad.
Yeah.
Tender Shoot's
Yeah,
just
that's-
Saplings.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, this is an entire type.
Also,
Basically,
think about it like
yeah.
the
Not
Saplings,
just a
who
tribe.
makes it is fungus makes Saplings. So it's like, they're kind of like 2 tribes going on.
Yeah.
This is
This is
all
just an entire type of a creature, basically. So
fantastic in my
it's
eyes.
very good. Yeah, I'd say it's very good too.
Next up, we got March of the Canonized. It's X white for an enchantment. When it enters the battlefield, create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink. At the beginning of your upkeep, if your devotion to white and black is 7 or greater, create a 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature token with flying.
Wow.
So that's just nuts, right?
Yeah, that's really good. So it starts off as giving you a bunch of shit, and then you get more shit if you have the Devo.
Yeah, the devotion, which is going to be really easy in a vampire deck because you're playing black and white cards.
Exactly.
So each one you get a 1/1 body, which is huge. I used to run a card called Secure the Wastes. It's a instant X and 1 white, put X 1/1 white warriors out. Just crazy on its own. Being able to create token bodies in like these token decks is aristocrat decks nuts on its own.
But say you already have the devotion. Do you just run it out for 2? And then next turn you're getting a 4/3 every turn?
Yeah, so it just keeps on giving.
Or do you still think you pump something into X? Even if you had the devotion already?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on what your other opponent's boards look like.
Or what you got in your hand, too.
Or what you have, yeah.
If you could spend the mana,
I feel like
why not?
wouldn't be a bad play if you want to like get a body out or something.
And you had another player.
Because 2 for a 4/3 every upkeep is not
turn
bad.
6, you play a 4-drop and then just jam this for 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it definitely wouldn't be bad.
I can see it.
This is a pretty good card. This is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I'd say.
I think it's great.
Great for vampires.
I mean, and it gives it 2 of the 7 right off the bat itself. So
yeah,
mm-hmm.
And 5 is not hard to get at all.
I also run Tempt with Vengeance. This reminds me of. That's another X tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy cards. So all of these.
That's not bad.
Yeah, these have been pretty great recently.
Definitely. All right. Next up, we got Redemption Choir. It is 2 and 2 whites for a 3/3. That's vampire cleric creature with lifelink, and it has Coven. Whenever Redemption Choir enters the battlefield or attacks, if you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, return target permanent card with with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield.
So it's mini
This is
Sun
Sun
Titan.
Titan.
Yeah, it's like a mini Sun Titan effect.
Sun Titan, but cheaper if you have creatures.
Yeah, if you have the Coven.
It has to
It's
be
literally
yeah.
Sun Titan, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I love how
Just-
it is Sun Titan. Some of the new ones say non-land, but this
Right,
can
this
grab
is literally
lands.
anything. Yeah,
So
And it
fetch
has
lands are
lifelink.
great.
yeah. The lifelink's nice.
Lifelink's nice, but fetch lands are something like you always have a fetch land in your graveyard. So this is
Yeah.
finding something every time.
Yeah.
It will hit something. Basically, there is a very good chance, as long as you have a graveyard, it will hit something.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
It does seem really good.
It is almost better than Sun Titan. Like, it is good.
Yeah, the only scenario it's not is if you have an empty board. That's
Right.
worse
Yep.
than Sun Titan.
Yep.
but-
That's why it's that's when it's like not.
Yeah, ups and downs.
Well, that's white. I think for the most part, white's pretty good.
Yeah. Very good.
There's a couple mid cards that are like okay, but for the most part, I think white's
That's
got
a
some
good vampire
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, it's really good for vampires, definitely. And also that golem's gonna be really good for artifact creature decks.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, we're kicking off blue.
All right, we got Mist Dancer. 5 mana, so 4 and a blue for a 3/3 flying merfolk wizard. Other merfolk you control get +1 attack and have flying. That's pretty huge for an anthem. It also has Encore for 7. So
Yeah, so let me
Encore.
just-
So if they
Let
get
me
rid of
just-
it, you can bring it back.
Yeah.
Let me get 3 of these so all my stuff attacks with +3/+0 and flying.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. They all
What the
buff each
hell,
other.
dude?
Yeah.
Just for that one swing, though. But it's still like a mini
That's a pretty good swing.
for your Merfolk deck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do merfolk
See-
really need flying? Like,
That gives them
why does it
invasion.
fly?
Invasion, yeah,
I mean, they already have Island Walk.
Exactly.
That's a little
Among
harder
other
to
things.
get. Island Walk. It's not so reliable as flying.
That's true.
Yeah, for merfolk, that's a pretty good card. That's
Yeah.
not bad. Literally an anthem, but better. Pretty much.
Yeah, 5 mana is a little steep, but I like it. Flying is kind of you're going to go and
Flying's a
win the
pretty
game,
good.
hopefully.
Yeah,
I think
that's a pretty
I think
good
it's
take.
almost better just in the graveyard. You just encore it and just
Yeah.
win the game.
You just go all out in one swing.
Yeah.
Because blue has a hard time like just getting unblockable swing in
Yeah.
unless you like cyclonic lift overload or something like
Yeah, they need
or
to swing
sleep
all out.
them or something. I guess, but it's like here
Could
you
give
just win.
Creature's horsemanship.
Yeah, I guess you do that too.
Horsemanship.
There's
Ah.
always Sun Quan. One of my favorites. He's 6 mana. Not bad. So
Next
Yeah.
up, we got the Ripples of Potential. 1 and a blue for an instant. You proliferate, then choose any number of permanents you control that had a counter put on them this way, and they phase out.
Oh, interesting. So not only can you proliferate your whatever you got going on, you can also protect them.
yeah.
It's interesting.
I feel like this is more of a protection spell for
Mhm.
when you have like a 1/1 counter based deck or a Planeswalker deck, and they blow up all Planeswalkers or blow up all
Yeah.
whatever. and you're just
Obviously, they
all right,
have
get them
to
all
have.
one player and phase them out.
They obviously have to have a counter on them for this to even
Yeah.
work, though. So it's got to
Yeah.
be the right kind of.
It's pretty tough.
Otherwise, this doesn't do anything. So
Pretty
it's a
neat.
bit situational. But if you have the right kind of deck that want a proliferation deck, basically, yeah, this can be good. It's instant speed. It's cheap.
I think it is really hard to get.
The only issue is if you're playing like 1/1 counters, you're probably playing green, in which case you would just play Heroic Intervention. But
Right.
And Heroic
The-
Intervention is significantly better than this.
The upside of this card is that you can just use it to proliferate, but is it worth it?
Yeah.
A whole card just to proliferate?
just to do
once?
that,
Yeah, that's not
I don't think
all
so.
that great. You can do better stuff with that slot. if that's all you're really doing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very in the right situation. This can be really good, but it is very situational.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. All right. Next up, we got Stormfleet Negotiator. It is 2 and a blue for a 2/2 Siren Pirate creature. It has flying, and it also has Parlay. Whenever Stormfleet Negotiator attacks, each player reveals the top card of their library. For each non-land card revealed this way, you create a map token. Then each player draws a card.
Nope. Having
I
your
don't know.
opponents draw cards is
Drawing cards for
I
opponents
mean,
is never
all the
great, right?
parlays. That's just what they do. They have everyone draw a card.
That is the mechanic. From what
I guess how good is hitting 3 map tokens?
I feel like that's not a great trade-off because they're slow.
Like, is that worth? That's worth like a card, maybe. 3 map tokens. 2 map tokens is like 1 card, maybe, because it's like mana ramp.
I can't even play my Academy Manufacturer. That card I've been loving, but that's only cares about clues and treasures and not maps.
That's true.
So
map tokens are very, I don't know, they're very mid in my opinion. They can be good, but
the issue is like, so
you can also whiff.
Like, say you get 3 map tokens, right? Like, perfect scenario. You just gave all of your opponents a card, and you got 2 cards.
Yeah,
like that's
is
not
that really worth
that's
it?
not even really a huge advantage. But you could just play a divination.
Yeah,
they are artifacts.
They are artifacts.
Okay, you have Urza or something, but
it plays into that, sure. But then there's also
Uh-huh.
other things like Thopter Foundry or whatever that also does the same thing for artifact fodder, if that's what you're really looking for.
Yeah.
That doesn't make your opponents draw cards. So, I don't know.
I don't know if you're trying to get mana ramp in mono blue, maybe, but
yeah. I've never really liked Parlay personally. Like, it's got to be a really good Parlay.
I like the one that adds mana.
Like that one. That can be worth it. Like those ones are okay, but this does not seem worth it to me.
Yep. All right, we'll move on.
How about this badass ship over here, huh?
Yeah, the Indomitable, 4 mana, so 2 and 2 blue, vehicle, legendary artifact, 6/6 trample. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That sounds familiar. It has crew 3. Then you may cast the Indomitable from your graveyard as long as you control 3 or more tapped pirates and or vehicles.
Oh, that's pretty sick, actually.
Oh yeah, this is a Thassa's Bindant or Piracy, or what is that one? Those enchantments.
Thassa's Bindant, Coastal Piracy.
And then there's the new one that can cycle.
Yeah, right? It's a format. It's like a reconnaissance mission or something.
Okay, yeah. Maybe I still like the cycler one over this, but this is an artifact.
This is still better.
This is really good.
Think so?
It's 4 for a 6/6. The crew cost is only half of it.
Well, because basically, think of it this way: if you're playing Reconnaissance Mission or Coastal Piracy, this is just better in every way, right? Because you could animate it into a 6/6 at some point. It
is a creature. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Because it's a vehicle. So.
I guess.
Like, it's not when it comes in; it's just an artifact with that static text.
Yeah.
But like, you can crew it into a creature.
Yeah.
If you're playing pirates or vehicles, it's even better because you can cast it from your graveyard if they blow it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can always bring it back.
What's the Binding of Thassa's other ability do? Like, creatures can't
It's like
block.
It's like makes them attack you or something like that.
Okay, yeah, you force someone to attack.
Yeah.
They're all.
I think that I feel like all of like the pirate ship vehicles in the new Ixalan set have been really good from what I've seen.
Yeah, you could put it in your pirate ship tribal deck.
And I feel like this one's really good too. Like this does some work, and it's honestly well statted. And it's got trample, which is always a good keyword.
I mean, if you're playing this in the dedicated vehicles deck, it's basically tap 1 creature, you have a 6/6.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's really good.
Because the what do you call it? The pilots
commander
will just the pilots will immediately tap crew it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the cycler over this, but
it's also nice that it's for each creature because like you just swing with a bunch.
Well, yeah, that's what all the others do. But it's like the thing is, if sometimes you get board wiped and you can't attack, I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
The one where you could cycle it away is like, okay, I don't have a board. I'm going to cycle this away and find something I can do.
Right.
It would be good in the right shell. I can see it.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a
Oh, for
powerful
sure.
effect.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I definitely think it's about the same power level wise. It's
Okay.
like I feel like you would play it over those because usually you only want one of those effects in your
Right.
deck. You don't want to stuff them full. So like I'd probably play it over if you're playing pirates or vehicles, just because you can get all three of the modes basically.
The right
the
kind
creature,
of
the enchantment version, the artifact version, or the
That's really what I
graveyard
think
part.
Commander's becoming is like your deck's becoming so like you get your niche cards instead of having, the best of the best, your Dockside Extortionist or whatever.
Right.
Like you're getting your specific type of that card.
Yeah.
Which I think is awesome.
That's a lot better than just making a card that everybody has to play.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
I mean, there's still some of those cards, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting more diluted, which is nice. It's nice to have a pool to play out of. All right, you wanna? This next card seems really flavorful. I love it.
It's Wave Goodbye. 2 blue for a sorcery. Return each creature without a +1/+1 counter on it to its owner's hand.
Interesting. Okay.
I'd still rather just play the one when they attack.
Yeah, it's still, I don't know. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's good if you're playing like a counter deck, obviously, but 4.
Yeah,
I mean, 4 is like a 4 is like a wrath. So I mean, I guess that's pretty good.
Yeah, it reminds me of Whelming Wave, which is return all creatures except for krakens, leviathans, octopuses, and serpents and stuff. So it's this effect, but in that
your
1/1
counter deck,
commander deck type.
Yeah. So if you're playing that deck, this is very good for you. Otherwise, probably not.
Run your Cyclonic Rifts.
Yeah, much better card. So that's blue. Blue's, that's got some okay stuff.
Yeah, not
I
super.
don't know. I'm not really excited about any of the blue cards.
Yeah, not all that overwhelming. That's for sure.
Whites were bangers, and now blue.
White was pretty damn good. Blue is kind of it's all right, I guess.
Well, hopefully the black ones are better.
Yeah. All right. First black card we got is Altar of the Wretched. It is 2 and a black for an artifact. When Altar of the Wretched enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice a non-token creature. If you do, draw X cards, then mill X cards, where X is that creature's power. Craft, and then it also has craft with 1 or more creatures for 2 black. And then it has 2 and a black. Return Altar of the Wretched from your graveyard to your hand. So when you craft it, it turns into Wretched Bone Mass, which is a star skeleton horror creature. Wretched Bone Mass's power and toughness are each equal to the total power of the exiled cards used to craft it. Wretched Bone Mass is flying as long as an exiled card used to craft it has flying, and the same is for basically any other keyword. Double Strike, Pro, Trample, Vigilance, yada, 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 yada. So, you can turn this into a big old, just staple a bunch of keywords to it, basically.
So I think first thoughts, I think this will be good in the Keywords Matters deck. Was that Catherall?
Yeah. Catherall, yeah.
Because you just, hit 2 things, you're probably going to have 3 or 4 keywords and like a 9 or something.
I feel like
the front ability is pretty good too. Draw X, mill X.
That's pretty damn good, especially in black. Black loves doing this. So, you draw a bunch of shit. You pitch the shit you want to like reanimate or whatever. Or they're just the shit you don't want, Yeah,
it fills your graveyard.
I've seen the Catherall deck in action, and you really just kind of want Catherall to have all of this stuff, and you're just having that big old commander damage type thing, and this is kind of like contesting for it. I can see like maybe Catherall got destroyed like 2 or
Yeah.
3
Yeah,
times, and now
right.
it's
I
time
feel
to
like,
use
yeah,
this.
Cathro is a very much a target. It will die.
Yeah, yeah.
Someone
So this is
will
like
path it or
backup.
something.
I'm working on a skeleton, tribal deck, and I feel
Mm.
like this is going to go in it.
Yeah, this would go
It
well in
flips
that.
into a skeleton.
Yeah.
So I was saying, yeah, this could go. It's more of that first ability I'm seeing for
Yeah, the
specifically
draw.
that Cathril build, or
Yeah.
even that. What's great is that you can just mill this on accident and just return it straight from your graveyard to your hand.
Right,
and
yeah.
play
Which
it.
that's pretty awesome too. Like
I
having
mean,
that ability.
you could also just play this, sack something, do the draw and mill, and then play like KCI or something and sack this artifact to it, and then put it back in your hand.
Yeah,
So
just keep
just
redoing
leave
it that way. I like
Yeah.
it.
It's a
I
pretty
think it's a
decent
good
card.
card.
All around, yeah.
I think it's all about that front. The craft is kind of you're getting a little weird, but it works.
In the right deck, it could be really good. It's more of a late game thing anyway.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna beat you with it. I'm gonna be like, oh, I have 20 skeletons in my graveyard. Let me craft all of them onto this.
All right,
Make like a 30-30.
Why wouldn't you just like living death me or something? I don't know.
Because you could have stuff in the graveyard.
Okay, all right. Sure. We'll wait till that happens. We'll move on.
We'll live to see that day later on.
All right, here's another vampire soldier for 2 mana. Dusk Legion Surgeon. So 1 in a black, 2/2 menace. You can pay 1 in a black, activate this ability by sacrificing him. Each non-token vampire creature you control gains persist until end of turn.
Ooh.
This is an anti-board wipe.
That is
vampire
really
soldier.
good. Damn.
Yeah, that's really good.
This seems
you
fantastic.
just make
You're
you make
playing
all
this
your
in vampires, or else you're not playing it.
Yeah.
make your
Like,
vampires
'cause outside of
super
that, it's a
edgy.
2/2 menace. Like,
Yeah.
I was super stoked on the first one being like, oh, he's a soldier. But this one, it doesn't help
doesn't
that he's
really
a
matter
soldier.
that he's a soldier. Yeah.
No, yeah. It's just like
I don't like
very
care about
good for the vamp deck though. That effect is awesome.
that. Yeah.
But it's only good if you have the tribe to back it up. So.
Yeah. These 2 mana, that's very low curve. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Next up, we got Francisco Foul Marauder. 1 in a black for a 0/1 legendary creature bird pirate with flying. He can't block, and whenever 1 or more pirates you control deal damage to a player, Francisco explores, and he has partners, so he can be a partner commander.
Oh no,
That's kinda
partner's
cool.
back. Partner's back. Oh, it's all broken.
Interesting.
Wait, how many
partner's
black
broken.
pirates are there? I thought the pirate deck was red-blue.
Well, this is old school partner, so you could do any color combination.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess.
it can be anything. Anything as long as it has partner.
Yeah.
Well, I was just saying, like, I thought most of the pirates were red and blue, so that's what you're going to partner it with, right? Something that's red and blue.
Yeah.
The Beckett Breast is Grixis.
Oh, okay.
All
So you
pirates
could play
are
that in there.
So that would work perfect with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Not too many are black.
There's some, though.
There's some. I think he's super cute, but yeah, just cute.
I think it's cool. I don't know. Because, like, you can't even attack with... You can't... Like, it's a 0/1 that can't block. You can't even attack with this, because it's just going to be a 0/1.
Unless you buff it.
Like, unless you hit with another pirate first. Like,
he's going to be exploring.
Right, but if you don't explore at least one time, like if you play this on turn 2, it's just going to sit there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You really need to curve out, but yeah. Commander, it's not really I'm going to attack and actually take you down that way type of game anymore.
Yeah, I mean, exploring is nice, sure. I mean, it's a fine thing to do. It sucks that you can't do it more than once. Because that's 1 or more deal damage.
Yeah.
It'd be bonkers if you could do it.
It's cool flavor, though.
Yeah, I like that. All right. Next up, we got Master of Dark Rites. It is a black for a 1/1 vampire cleric creature. It has tap, sacrifice another creature, add 3 blacks. Spend this mana only to cast vampire cleric and or demon spells.
So Dark Ritual on repeat. Thank
and
you.
and a creature, basically.
Yeah.
You have to sack another creature to
If
do
you
it.
play one of those tribes, you're gonna play this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. I play demons, and those are some big boys that I don't
Yeah, I
have.
guess you
like,
probably don't have a lot
water.
of little dudes in there.
But
But like
it's-
vampires, like Edgar, you make a 1/1 just by casting this.
Vampires make tokens like
So,
nothing.
It's like thanks for 3 free mana.
You don't care.
So
Yeah, this can be pretty good. This can get out of control fairly, especially in a vampire tribal. This can definitely get out of
they
control.
were smart to add the tap, so you can't just infinitely use it.
Yeah, if you could do this infinitely,
no.
that'd be disgusting.
No.
Why would they do that? Do they actually hate us if they did that?
Yeah.
That would be awful to deal with.
That's good for a 1-drop.
Yeah,
Like,
really good 1-drop. Really good.
It reminds me of like an old cards Dolby Advocate or something, where you like tap, sacrifice a creature, and add a black equal to their CMC.
Yeah.
But this is like you can sack a little 1/1 and you get the
you can
full 3.
Sack
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want, basically.
Yeah.
Sack your little, sapperling or your little vampire token or your Thopter token, whatever the hell you got.
Yeah. The downside is vampire, cleric, or demon, which you are running other spells than the tribe spells. Like you got enchantments, you got other stuff to do. So it's a little bit of a downside there, but it's still a lot of mana for 1-drop.
It's good to have.
I mean, you can help you play your commander in those decks, so.
Yeah, true.
Especially with commander tax.
All right. We're on next card is an adventure card. Okay. Promise of Alcatraz.
Alcazatz, I don't know, something
He's the bat god.
The
from
bat
the
god
original
guy.
set.
The Bat God.
Yeah.
All right. It's 2 mana,
Batman.
1 in the black. I'm Batman. Enchantment. The enchantment is at the beginning of your end step, you may sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, populate. Haven't seen populate in a while.
That's an old one, yeah.
But before you lay down this enchantment, you usually want to use the adventure Foul Rebirth. 2 in a black, sorcery, sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, you create a 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature token with flying.
I mean, it's not bad.
That's okay.
So yeah,
You
start
use that, make a 4/3, and then you keep sacking your little tokens to make them into 4/3s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad.
It's cheap enough to be okay, but it's not like the greatest. Like,
It's really slow.
It is pretty slow.
Like
You
I can see
probably
this. The combo is like Bitter Blossom, I guess, on turn 2, and then turn 3 you do this, sack your little fairy. Now you got 4/3s, and then hopefully you're
trading
sacking.
your
or
fairies for
if you have a
4/3s is
dedicated
better.
like populate deck that's making like a 10/10, and you can just keep making
Big
it.
old-
You just
so
populate
good-
your
yeah.
big boy, yeah.
I haven't seen populate in a while. Yeah,
Yeah, it hasn't really been a thing for a long time.
I
And
guess no, dude.
it
You could
was-
create-
Well, the Rhino.
always-
When was the Rhino set? The Rhino did that.
yeah, the Rhino guy. But
I always
nowadays,
felt like populate was like kind of slow, just in general,
Yeah, because it only
Unless
makes
you-
one.
because it's only one. It's just like
yeah, definitely.
really doubling season or something, make a fuck ton,
Well, this is on top of now you get more populates, but I have seen like now there's like body double or something. Like you can make tokens of any card. Like,
Right.
Every
Yeah.
card can be a token now.
Yeah, pretty much anything these days can be.
This could
Yeah.
actually kind of get crazy. I need to maybe
Yeah.
look into populate again.
Yeah, a lot has changed since that.
The only
first
issue
round
is
of it came
populate has to be a creature that you're copying.
Okay, yep.
So it's not like I can use Yenna and like copy doubling season and then keep populating
Right.
doubling season.
Right. But
Yeah,
but still,
that
any
would be-
creature, though,
that'd be
can now
gross.
be a token. There's some brewing.
There's definitely some uses for this, but again, it's very niche.
I guess
Like,
it
has
works
to be
with
the
that.
right
There's
thing.
another new card, right? That brings an artifact or enchantment back as a 1/1 spirit token.
Oh yeah,
can
that
just
card
do
was really good. That would pair
You
really well with
populated
this.
that.
wonky things you can do.
Yeah, there's some interesting combos. They exist. They're out there.
Okay. I know what I'm doing this weekend.
Looking to populate.
Looking at populate decks.
I love more awesome flavor here. I love this, Corey.
Yeah, the next one's another card I'm going to put in the deck here. Skeleton Crew, 3 and a black for a Skeleton Pirate. It's a 3/3. Each other creature you control as a skeleton or pirate gets +1/+1. Whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, create a 2/2 Skeleton Pirate creature token. And 5 and a black returns Skeleton Crew from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped.
Okay. There's a lot going on here.
Yep.
Now, wasn't there like a Commander Legends guy that did exactly kind of this, but not skeletons? Like whenever one or more creature cards leave your graveyard, you create it.
Yeah, it makes like a bat or something. Yeah.
Yeah. That seems
So
really cool.
that can be exiled or brought back to the battlefield, right?
Anything, yeah.
Any way, yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of things that do that.
Yeah, you could return it to your hand, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of skeletons have those abilities already.
Right,
so.
yeah, you pay 3 or something to reassemble them, yeah.
Reassembling skeleton.
Classic card.
That's an old school one right there.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Great for, again, like we're seeing a lot of love for like skeleton tribal in this set. So
And pirates.
Yeah.
Some sort of like infinite combo with, altars and stuff where you're just sacking them, reassembling skeleton, paying it back to your hand, casting it, sacking them, making
this is also good with the mono black artifact from Warhammer, that commander that makes an artifact creature whenever an artifact creature leaves your graveyard. So if you do that, you get both.
Yeah. So, of course, it's like Phyrexian altar. We broke it again. Oh no.
Yeah, this is a nice little card packs a punch. I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, anything that can return itself is great. Like incidental.
Oh yeah, anything that even if it is 6 or whatever, like it's still good. Like anything, it's still gonna come back either way. So our last black card is the Grim Captain's Locker. It is 3 and a black for a legendary artifact. You can tap it to surveil 1, and you can also tap it until end of turn. Each creature card in your graveyard gains escape 3 and a black, exile 4 other cards from your graveyard.
Not bad.
So you can.
It's not bad.
You don't even have to sack it to do that either. That's just an ability. That's really good.
I like how it can surveil. So if you're not doing the reanimate plan, like you're doing something.
Yeah, you're at least putting stuff in your graveyard.
Mm-hmm. It reminds me of the band Reoccurring Nightmare in Commander, where this can you can reanimate over and over and over again as long as you meet the criteria.
Good. Yeah, which is 4 cards and 4 mana.
Yeah, that's definitely not bad.
I think this is going to be really powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. Because, 4 and exile 4 things to bring back your big dude or something like that, or like your Kakusho or, whatever you want to have on the field. Yeah, you'll gladly pay that price for sure.
4 is pretty cheap. Like you already got
it's not a lot. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same amount that this cost. Like,
and if you're not doing it, you're surveilling 1. It reminds me of a banned card, so
that just goes to show how powerful this can be.
Yeah, the power level is definitely there, I think. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it in my Carador deck.
Yeah, I'm sure it could probably do really well in that deck, honestly. So black is really good. It's got some good stuff in it.
Looks decent.
Yeah.
I think I'd play most of them.
Yeah. I mean, in the right kind of deck, these are all very useful. Very good cards. All right. Red time.
Move on to red. We got the Broadside Bombardiers. I don't know. 3 mana, 2 and a red for a 2/2 Goblin Pirate. They got Menace and Haste. And they have Boast. So it's whenever they attack, sacrifice another creature or artifact, then they deal damage equal to 2 plus the sacrificed permanent's mana value to any target. Any target's always fun.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Sacrifice off my other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be the mana value, so you can't. I mean, you can do like little tokens, then you just
You'll
do
just do
2.
2, yeah.
But
Yeah.
any target, you're hitting those planeswalkers, you're hitting face.
I mean, it's
Yep.
good with like what's that one? The spine.
Spine of Ishsa. Yeah.
Yeah. So you play
That's
that,
really
you
good
blow
for
up
that,
something,
yeah.
you attack, you sack it, deal 9, and blow up something else.
Sacrifice an artifact.
That's dirty. Yeah. That's real. That's a really good use for that card too.
My buddy Nikki B loves Nexus of Fate. He's trying to break that, so sacrifice
Yeah.
Nexus of Fate, take an extra turn.
Yep.
Why not?
Yeah, and yeah, being able to, it's kind of like a fling, except for it's CMC instead of power. So
True,
yeah,
true.
it's not
I
bad.
mean, plus on its base, it's a 2/2 menace haste goblin pirate, so it
Yeah.
goes in
Yeah,
all those decks.
This goes
Goblin
in
is
any
great.
red aggro deck
Goblin.
easily. Easily. They love hurling shit at you and dealing damage no matter what the amount is. And this is just another
Stuff
way
the
to
goblins
enable
in
it,
there.
you know? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's goblins
That's
shooting
that's
out
the
of the
lore of
thing.
it, man. Yeah, that I mean, yeah, in red aggro, that's a really good card, and then then you can also find some other scenarios like Corey was talking about, where you find have something that you want to sacrifice that's big in CMC and just destroy somebody with it. So
usually
that
when I
can
read
be very
Boast, I'm like, oh, it's one of those things I gotta wait an entire turn to do, but it has haste, so built in.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, you're
No,
doing
you don't.
that right now. Doing it now.
The flavor text is they ran out of cannonballs, so they started shooting pots and pans.
Soon it'll be other goblins.
I love that. It's pretty great. But yeah, that's good. That's good.
Next up, we got the Gem Cutter Buccaneer. 3 in a red for a 1/3 Orc Pirate Artificer. When Gem Cutter Buccaneer or another pirate enters the battlefield under your control, you create a tapped treasure token. Treasures you control are equipment in addition to their other types and have equipped creature gets +2/+0, equip pirate for 1, and equip other stuff for 3.
Well, if you're equipping a pirate with it, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And yeah, but how good is having a bunch of bone splitters?
Yeah, I don't think it's for that, but the first ability, just creating treasure, yes, it's tapped, but whenever
Yeah,
it's
that's
pirate ETBs,
Yeah, that
That's
can be
nuts.
pretty insane.
that's nuts. I mean, imagine if this said Goblin or something, and you were like Cranko Mob Boss, you
Right.
would be going bananas right now.
Oh yeah.
Being pirates is kind of like, I don't know, but
Yeah.
there's got to be some crazy combo to do with this. I mean, tapped, yeah, you can't.
If
use
not,
it,
there
right?
will be at some point.
Yeah. KCI, you're going to be sacking those artifacts again, making mana. Seems
Yep.
crazy.
And there's ways to untap stuff too. I mean, so
True.
you can
Yeah.
you can
I mean,
always get
it's
around
basically
it.
making a mana whenever you play something. You just have to wait a turn to use it. So
Yeah.
Either way, it's mana's mana.
Seems crazy. With all those, what we were talking about, X making a
Yeah.
1/1 for X.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
You're just doubling up on your mana for the next turn.
Here you go.
Yeah,
that can be pretty good. Definitely.
Does the equip the pirate 1 look a little bit bigger than like the equip 3 to you guys or something? Like I feel like that font,
yeah,
the one's
the
like a little bit
one is like more bold or something. Yeah.
big. It seems weird. I don't know. Maybe I look at too many magic cards. Something happened there.
I don't know, man. All right. Next up, we got Ore-Rich Stalactite. It is 1 in a red for an artifact. Tap it to add a mountain. Spend this mana only to cast an instant or sorcery spell. Then it has craft with 4 or more red instant and or sorcery cards for 3 and 2 reds. And then it can craft into the Cosmium Catalyst, which is also an artifact. It has tap 1 and a red and tap it. Choose an exiled card used to craft this at random. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. So, Spellslinger deck would definitely not mind this card.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good in a spell slinger deck. It's good as a mana rock, just in like a mono red burn deck.
Yeah. Just as the front.
Yeah,
Don't even bother with the flip side.
Yeah.
That. Yeah, it's
I
definitely
like
not bad.
I like how rocks are becoming 2 mana now and not 3 mana anymore.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Been pretty big in Commander recently.
that is very nice.
It reminds me of not Pass in Flames. What is that one you pay like 4 and you can cast something for free in your graveyard and then you can overload it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, like
Oh,
Mizzix
I know what it
Mastery
is.
or whatever.
Mizzix Mastery.
Yeah.
Yeah, this reminds me of Mizzix Mastery a lot.
Yeah, that's.
I mean,
definitely not
I
bad.
would, like I said, you'd play it in a spell slinger deck or a mono red burn deck or something like that, where it does have to be red instant and sorceries
Ooh,
Yeah.
that is a big oof.
for the craft.
Hmm.
But the first part is any instant sorcery.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
As I
just
said, I think it's
instant
better as a
sorcery.
mana rock than as the other part. The other part's just like if you really have something you want to cast again.
Mm-hmm.
But would you just run it as a rock though? I wouldn't. Like, there's so much better stuff.
In mono
Yeah.
red, though?
And mono red, I mean, if you got the money for like the crypts and the vaults and
I guess. But
Of course, those are always better.
how
Always
many
are.
rocks do you need though? You know, like,
I mean,
once
it's
you got
better.
home-
It's better than the one that comes in tapped, like Fire Diamond or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
who's,
one's not
who's
nearly as
running
good.
fire time?
Not
Hmm?
anymore.
People who can't afford mana crypts or people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that's who.
Like, and but you in like Arcane Signet, you would play, but it's like okay, it adds for 1 red, I guess. Like,
Yeah, you'd play this Arcane Signet over this.
yeah,
I was pretty high onto it until you pointed out it has to be a red instant or sorcery.
just the craft part does.
I don't see, because the backside you can only cast the cards you crafted with, right?
Yeah.
Right, and also the backside, like it's gonna pick one at random, and then like it's gonna go to your graveyard after you cast it. So like you're gonna, you have
Keep doing
4
it.
hits of it, and then it's useless.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All I can see is like rituals. I'm like, if I could do a different color, like black or something, I could see peer into the abyss or like some
Right.
huge thing I can do. Like with red, I can only imagine rituals right now.
Or
My
Chaos
head.
Warp or something, but
Yeah,
or
chaos warp.
what's the one they unbanned?
Ooh.
What's the Warp World or whatever?
What's
Warp World,
what's like a
yeah.
7 CMC big?
As I said, is it Warp
flashy
World
red
or what's
spell?
what's the one they unbanned that puts everyone at 1 life?
World
Oh,
Fire?
that's not Warp
World
World. That's
Fire,
World Fire.
yeah.
Yeah.
But do you need to cast that like twice or something? Like what? Just hard.
Yeah, I
cast
know.
that?
Do you really
Like,
need to cast that twice?
Probably not.
I don't know. I don't really.
I mean,
like
if you're
hard-
playing a burn deck and you run out of cards in your hand, right? It's like
okay,
having extra
Okay.
lightning bolts and shit. but-
extra burn. Okay,
Yeah.
I see
Extra
it.
burn's
I see
not
it.
bad. Mm-hmm.
But burn's not really a
But like,
commander.
I said, like you would
thing.
probably play it in just a blue-red
Yeah.
spells deck, though. 'Cause
I
it adds a
guess.
mana
It
for
could be
spells. Like if
good
you're
against
playing,
red
what is it?
instant sorceries.
What's the
You can't cantrip. You can't preordain in this.
No, but you could do the red-blue one.
Okay.
The-
Okay.
Is
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
sp-
Yeah.
Expressive
turn?
iteration.
Expressive iteration.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's.
I don't know.
so
It's more
few-
of them are going. Is it colors?
True.
So,
True. I don't know, with more cards coming out that will be like dual colors, I could see
I mean, you
this
could
being
hit
better.
like Magma Opus with
Yeah.
this.
I don't like it, guys. I don't like it.
I think it's okay. If it's a budget-friendly mana rock for red
Okay.
decks,
I'm totally on board now. I'm on board.
that has upside.
All right.
If you
Nope.
have the cards for it.
Don't run your ruby diamonds or whatever those tapped ones.
Yeah,
Run
the
this
Fire Diamond or whatever. Yeah.
fire diamond. There we go. All right. We'll move on to Wrathful Raptors. That's a fun one to say. It's a 5 mana, 4 and a red dinosaur, 5/5 with trample. Whenever a dinosaur you control is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to any target that isn't a dinosaur. Whew.
Ooh.
That seems awesome because
That seems really good against basically anything that's not dinosaurs, which is probably going to be a lot of Dixie play.
normally like,
We don't need more brash taunter types effects for dinosaurs,
Yes.
guys.
Right. This seems really good to that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
Star of
pretty great.
Extinction, your whole board, like goodbye,
Yeah.
everybody. Does that deal 20 to everything?
Yeah,
So
and it's
even-
any target that isn't a dinosaur, so you can hit players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any target is huge.
You're just gonna be like, okay, let me use the
Planeswalker,
thing that deals damage
face.
to everything. You're dead.
They're annoying pingers or they're mana givers or whatever. Like, yeah, you can hit
And with
many things.
dumb Atlapalani, this is going to be in for free. So,
Oh, yeah, fuck that deck.
and then you have that guy that whenever it comes in, it deals 1 to it. So then you're going to do 1 immediately.
Yep. So there's early dinosaurs that cared about enraged. So everyone's trying to do that pyrohemia, like deal 1 to all of your dinosaurs, trigger enraged. So on top of dealing 1 to all of your dinosaurs, you're also pinging from there anywhere you want.
So then it's just infinite upside, basically.
Yeah, this is going to be
just
really good.
on its own, like without doing all these crazy stuff. This is just, I'm going to swing in. Do you want to block? Oh, I'm going to target anything if you block, like whatever damage you do.
Like, oh, I'm going to trade off, with your 5/5. I'm still going to kill another creature. That's
that planeswalker over there. It's gone.
Yeah. Toast. Goodbye, Oko. Goodbye, whoever else you're playing against. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Crazy. Crazy.
Really good in the dynamic. So,
Some would say stupid.
Stupid.
Well, I mean, red seemed pretty good.
Red's not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's hit or miss, but the ones that hit pretty damn hard, man. So yeah. There's some good shit in here. Well, I'm gonna move on to green.
Yeah, we got Bygone Marvels. It's green for a sorcery. It has Descend 8. So when you cast this spell, if there are 8 or more permanent cards in your graveyard, copy this spell twice.
Ooh.
You may choose new targets for the copies. And the spell itself does return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand and then exile this. So 2 mana, get something back.
Yeah.
If you have 8, you get 3 things back.
The permanent part hurts a lot.
Yeah.
It's not Ewit, guys. It's permanent. But still grabs your lands, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Still not too high on it.
I don't know. How good is... Like, 2 mana bring back, you would just play, like, Reclaim or whatever.
Reclaim? Yeah, literally just Reclaim.
Or Regrowth.
Yep.
But if you get the Descend 8, you get 3 things.
You get 3 things? Is that really worth it? Like, what is that? There's this Life in the Loam gets 3 lands on its own if you're going for lands.
Yeah, if you're going for lands. Yeah, which is its own thing.
What are you grabbing? Creatures mostly.
I mean, you could grab E-Witness with this and Eternal Witness.
Yeah. I mean, that's cute.
You can grab anything, just loop it. I don't know.
This-
There's a lot of this effect already, so if you want one that makes 3, sure, you got one.
Yeah.
Just run E-Witness.
I don't know if it's necessary, if it's actually necessary, but I don't know.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
All right. Next one, we got Contest of Claws. It is 1 and a green for a sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. If excess damage was dealt this way, discover X, where X is the excess damage.
So it's a bite spell that you get to discover the excess.
Yeah. Not super.
Yeah,
it's a fight.
Okay.
Quote unquote. It deals its damage. It doesn't fight back.
Right, yeah, so it's like a bite. Like where you just hit it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not horrible. Like, it's better than just a regular bite, like the rabid bite or whatever. It's better than that.
It's a payoff for having big power.
Yeah,
big greasy green
definitely
things.
is.
It's not bad.
It's nothing to like run home about.
Kind of sucks to sorcery and you can't instant speed it, but
it'd be a lot better with an instant.
And being a fight spell, you need that creature. Like sometimes they clear the board or something. You don't have a board, and there's something you need to take care of, and you can't.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's medium. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean, there's obviously the dream scenario where you use like your Blight Steel or something, and you're like, okay, I get to discover 11. But
Yeah, sure.
Right. That's the dream one.
How often is that going to happen, though? I mean,
I guess I wouldn't view it as a removal anymore. It's more of like I'm going to try to discover, but can you fit that in your deck? Like, I don't know.
right,
Is that worth a card in your deck?
if you're playing some sort of deck around Discover and you just want a kill spell,
Sure.
I guess you could play it.
Okay.
Because then it kind of fills both roles, but it's just like a flexible card.
Pretty
than
meh.
that, it's not great.
We'll move on.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
All right. A Curious Altasaur for 4 mana, 3 and a green. 2/5 dinosaur with vigilance and reach. Whenever a dinosaur you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. All right.
That's really good.
We were just debating
That's
about this.
really good.
But
yeah, I think this dinosaur is busted too. I'm going to hate it because A, it has vigilance and reach.
Yep.
And B, I'm going to hate it because they're going to draw a bunch of cards off me when they already are slamming at me with big things.
Yep.
Yeah. This is basically a win more card, man. I mean, because you already have like dinos that are like dealing damage, and then you're just gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna go find more shit now.
I guess it is kind of win more, so I'm a little bit down on it, I guess, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's a good card.
It's still good.
It's good
because like if you play this, and you just have like the 2 mana dinosaurs out or whatever, or 3 manas before.
Right. This being only 4, like dinosaurs were like 6 CMC.
Yeah. They're bigger creatures usually. Yeah.
Reasonably cast, getting out there. You could start to maybe draw a card here and there per turns, and then hopefully set up for your.
Yeah, and I mean you could just hit somebody that's open, draw a card, and you still have a reach blocker. So
yeah, yeah, and the fact that it has reach and green is really nice. Because that is one thing that green always struggles with is flying. So
that's true.
And yeah, 5's a pretty good toughness for that. Like that's a decent amount of defense. So yeah, this is all around a pretty well-rounded card.
Next up, we got the Deep Root Historian. It's 3 and a green for a 3/3 Merfolk Druid. Merfolk and Druid cards in your graveyard have Retrace, which is you can cast it by discarding a land from your hand.
Druids are back, baby.
Druids
are so good.
And more Merfolks stuff.
Yep, more Merfolk. Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
4 mana is a little much, but it's a powerful effect.
Yeah, it is a powerful effect. It's good if you draw it late game when you have like 10 mana or something, and you're just like, oh, I can play some stuff from my graveyard.
Right, exactly. Right. Acting like a Ewit or something, but I don't know. It's a little much. 4 mana.
You do also have to have lands in your hand.
Yeah. Which is, I mean, if you have the right kind of deck where you have a lot of land, sure, I guess, but I don't know.
Nothing crazy.
It could be good. In some scenarios, it'll be good. Some it'll be like just doing nothing.
Yeah. It is very hit or miss. All right. Next, we have Dinosaur Egg. It is 1 and a green for a 0/3 Dinosaur Egg creature. It has Evolve. So it's whenever something that comes into play under your control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this, they put a +1/+1 counter on this. And then when Dinosaur Egg dies, you may discover X, where X is its toughness.
We don't need this.
We really
Get rid of this card. It's too good.
We really don't.
It's an egg. It's another card that works with Atlapalani.
Yeah, another fucking egg.
Eggs.
Yeah, so the egg dies. Not only do I get Atlapalani, I also get to discover X. And if I have that other card we were talking about, you get 3 triggers.
You get 3 triggers
off the egg.
Yeah, I don't. It's still. I mean, you run other eggs over this egg, really. An Atlapalani.
It's not a horrible egg, though.
It's not horrible, but it's not crazy. I don't see this breaking anything like this. It's fine.
I mean, if nobody's probably going to kill it right off the bat, so you're going to play a few things, and it gets up to like a 6 draw, and then you can get a
to a 6. You think so?
3. You play 3 things. It's going to be an 0/6.
You put 1+1/+1 counter onto it if it's bigger.
Yeah,
Like,
for each one. But you're going to play, you play this in turn 2. Turn 3, you play another thing. Turn 4, you play another thing. Turn 5, you play another thing. There you go. Turn 6, it's fucking already going to get
to
you a
its
6 drop.
toughness. Okay.
Yeah, because toughness is what discovers.
Oh, I was thinking power this whole time. Okay,
Yep.
it automatically gets the 3.
Yeah,
So
you
it
get
gets
3
3
if it's dead
even if it dies
immediately.
right away, which is still
All right.
pretty good.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, it's pretty decent.
I like it. I like it.
And then in a deck like Alaplani, you also get a fucking dino out of it. And then other triggers.
Yeah, anything
possible,
with
too.
the egg triggers stuff, it's going to
I don't know why I was thinking power.
Yeah, then it'd be terrible.
Yeah, that'd be awful power. Yeah,
I'm on board.
This is a decent card. This is really good. And yeah, in an egg deck, this is very, very good. 100%.
Some would say excellent.
Excellent.
All right, we'll move on to dinosaurs again.
More dinos.
Scion of Calamity. 5
What?
mana.
What is Scion doing? No.
Not that Scion.
This one's 5 mana, 3 and 2 green, 5/5 dino. It has Myriad, so when it attacks for each other opponent, you create a token that's attacking. Then whenever Scion of Calamity deals combat damage to a player, destroy target artifact or enchantment they control.
Oh, that's so dirty.
So it's like mini Kogla.
Like, no matter what, it's probably going to destroy something.
Has to deal that combat damage to a player.
Yeah.
Right. But if they're open, I mean, yeah.
You have to target that artifact or enchantment that player controls too, which is a little bit more meh. But
I mean, you still get 3/5/5 swinging.
3/5/5
every
that's
time.
A lot of damage, man.
Right.
All across the board,
You choose the main one, not the reflections, the tokens, to like someone where it's not going to die. So you can
exactly
doing it over and over again.
Like, this is going to be easy to keep.
It's okay, but anything with Myriad is good. I mean, it's just it's still medium. Like, it's 5 for a 5/5 that can blow up shit.
Yes,
occasionally.
That
if it had trample as well, it'd be better.
Oh, that'd be disgusting.
They can just chump it, like.
Or
but
if it
it's a green card. So many things give trample in green, so like you can find a way to overrun it or something.
Yeah,
I think this card's pretty damn good. It'll do some work, especially in a dinosaur deck. So, yeah.
I don't know. I'm probably still not running in my Kashath deck, to be honest.
Play that end the turn card, and then you don't have to exile the tokens.
Yeah, those are always fun to do.
And the turn during combat.
Yeah, that seems
Sadly,
good.
that commander's Grixis, but there's still other ways. Sundial of the Infinite is the famous one.
All right, how about this frilly boy?
Yeah, we got Sunfrill Imitator, 2 and a green for a 3/3 dinosaur. Whenever it attacks, you may have it become a copy of another dinosaur you control, except for it has the name Sunfrill Imitator, and it has this ability. So you can keep turning it into your best dinosaur.
This is amazing.
That's really good.
My
For 3 mana?
For Gashoth, having a second one? Ooh.
And it doesn't. It's not like it's not even like Scion where he had to pay 5 or whatever to copy it. It just becomes the copy.
Mm-hmm. Since it has its same name too, I don't think legendary counts. Correct? Like, if I copied my Gashoth, would I have to sacrifice one of them?
I don't know.
I think it's because it has its same name. It's Sunfrill Imitator. Does it keep the 3/3 as well? That's another good question.
Well, because this becomes a copy, so I don't think so. Does it? Or is it just
you're correct. It says Infiltrator copies a legendary creature. It will also be legendary, but because its name is not the name of the copy, the legend rule does not apply.
Perfect.
Hey,
how about power and toughness? I think it still is just a 3/3. Or is it?
No, you get the power and toughness.
It's saying it's a copy, so yeah, it becomes the creature.
It literally is that. Whatever.
2 Gashoth.
Because that's what Scion does. Scion's
done.
a 5/5, but it turns into whatever the fuck it turns into.
I need this card now.
Yeah, this card's really fucking good, man.
I need this.
Yeah, that's amazing. That will destroy lots of fucking things.
It's only good in dinos, right?
No,
like it
yeah.
sucks
Obviously,
outside
it
of that.
Only
has
good
to
in
be
the
a
shop, too.
dinosaur for it to even work.
Like
But,
most
I mean,
other
yeah.
dinosaurs too, you don't even want to like copy. Like the Zakama, I think the triple-headed one. That you don't need 2 of that. Like you
I
only
mean, it's
do
still
one
like a
ability
9/9,
once.
but yeah,
Like this is
yeah,
for Gashath. This is for
right.
my baby. That's
Mhm.
it. Like, but it's really good in that deck.
Yeah, this will do some work in a dino deck. Next we got Topography Tracker. It is 2 and a green for a 2/2 Merfolk Scout creature. When Topography Tracker enters the battlefield, create a map token. If a creature you control would explore, instead it explores, then it explores again.
Double
So
your
again,
explorers.
Double explore. That's actually pretty good. That's not too bad. The map tokens, whatever. That's fine.
Well, the map triggers an explorer, so it itself gives
Yeah.
you 2 explorers.
I mean, yeah. That mean, I guess, yeah. That plays off of it. But the explorer trigger is very, very nice.
Get twice.
Or being able to double it.
I mean, you'd play it if you're building an explorer-based deck. Otherwise, like,
Yeah.
you ain't gonna play it.
Yeah, you would really need to put
yeah,
a lot
you
of
need
explore.
something for this to actually work with.
There's a enchantment. Let's see.
Yeah, there's stuff in the main
all
set
your
that's like whenever you explore, you scry, then explore.
Yeah.
Stuff like
that there's this Path of Discovery. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, it explores itself, so it counts for everything coming into explore.
Oh, that's good then, yeah.
But also in Commander, like you're getting these 2 cards together just for that synergy is pretty
Right.
like you need.
As I say, if you're building a whole deck around exploring, sure. Otherwise,
Yeah.
you're probably not playing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gotta you gotta make it worthwhile,
Yeah. All right, we'll go on to Tributary Instructor. Tribal something? I don't know. For
I
4
think it's
mana.
Tributary. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tributary?
I
All
think
right.
so. Tributary.
3 in the green. I
Tributary,
said
like
it right.
tribute?
All right.
Yeah.
4 mana, 4/4 Merfolk Shaman with Mentor. And then whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it dies, draw a card.
Yeah, so your offering is tribute. So it's tributary, I think.
Mm-hmm. Not tribal, tribute.
Yeah, tributary.
I was thinking, is this going to be a tribal card? But no, it's definitely tribute.
I mean, it has Mentor, so you can buff stuff itself and then get some cards.
Yeah.
You
That's pretty
give
sick.
something the +1/+1 counter, and then you hopefully draw
I mean,
a card.
you'll play this in a 1/1 counter deck. Otherwise, again, you're not going to play it. So
Yeah.
again, they're getting
this
very,
in a
very
this
niche
in a
cards. So in that deck, this is going to be good.
this in a counter deck is going to do some major work. That's going to draw you a fuck ton if you have the right kind of deck for it. Otherwise, it's fine. You're probably not going to play it.
That Merfolk, the old blue-green one with the first Ixalan guy. Like you tap 5 Merfolk you control, all your Merfolk get +1/+1 counters. So like your whole board will have this, and then you have that anti-board wipe type thing. Like you want to kill my stuff?
Yeah, you don't want to kill. I'm going to draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, I'm going to draw shit. Ooh.
It seems good in that deck. Seems good.
Yeah. In anything that has to do with tokens, this is going to be good. Definitely.
All right,
So
now we're
that's
going on
green.
the
Green's
multicolor.
pretty fucking good for the most part. So yeah. Multi, starting with Carmen. Where in the world is Carmen Sandy? Sorry, no. Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher, 3 in Orzhov, 5 total, for a 2/2 legendary creature, vampire soldier with flying. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Carmen, Cruel Sky Marcher, and you gain 1 life. Whenever it attacks, return up to 1 target permanent card with mana value less than or equal to its power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So again, with the Titan effects here.
Yeah. There's
That's
another card
interesting.
that does the same thing. Like when you attack, return something. Olivia or something? Let's see. Olivia.
Is that Olivia that did that?
I mean, Olivia does vampires. So its power, I think. And
Crimson Bride Olivia.
Yeah.
Whenever she attacks, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. And then
that's
it gains,
that's
if
really
you don't
good.
control a legendary vampire, exile this creature. That's 6 mana. This is 5 mana.
This is one less.
And you can
but
also
it has
also
to be
use
the power.
You can also use this in our Aristocrats deck just to gain some life, get that incidental life gain.
Instant life gain. This
Oh, it's a player. I was thinking that it only said opponent. Okay.
Yep. So that's good for anti-sacrificial shit too. So.
Right. I run a Gave Guru of Spores deck.
And let's be real. Like, how often do people sack stuff in Commander? I mean, fetch lands, treasure tokens, clue tokens. Like, there's a lot of things that you sacrifice when you play Commander. So that can play into this pretty quickly.
Yeah. So, this can go off with my Gave. I mean, I can sneeze and Gave goes infinite, but like I sacrifice a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, or if I remove that counter, I create a sapling. So if I just have like altars and they're getting the counters, sacrifice it. This gets a +1/+1. I get to remove it, make another sapling, sacrifice that.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like this could be pretty freaking good in the right scenario. But honestly, like I said, like things get sacrificed, so I think it'll just incidentally kind of do its own work. It's going to get big. Yeah, it's fine.
It's also any permanent card, so you can bring back lands with it.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah,
yes.
That is really good.
That
too.
Non-land clause kept hitting me like in cards in the past few years, but now they're back to just permanent, which I like.
Just anything. Yeah. All right. How about this other vampire here?
Clavinella, no.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah, right.
Just like
whatever. We're just gonna call him Clav. Clav, the first of the blessed.
Clav.
Yeah, Clav. 1 white and a black for a 2/2 vampire cleric, legendary creature. Whenever you attack, target attacking vampire that isn't a demon becomes a demon in addition to its other types. It gains when this creature dies, draw a card and create a tapped 4/3 white and black vampire demon creature token with flying.
Okay.
Hard to evaluate.
Yeah.
It's nice because whenever you attack, so you just attack with anything.
It's a
and you
trigger.
Hit that.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to attack.
No, so you attack with your 1/1 token. Mm-hmm. Your 1/1 token now is also a demon that when it dies makes a 4/3.
Makes a 4/3, yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's pretty good for a 3-drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially since this can trigger multiple times, which is also good. You don't have to tap it or anything like that to do it. So,
well, multiple turns. It's whenever you attack, so it's not multiple creatures in one turn.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, you get one creature per turn that you can give that ability, but it has that ability forever once you attack with it. So
right, yeah, yeah, that's okay.
Strong cards.
It's definitely a strong card.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like plus it prevents like if you swing in with your a bunch of 1/1s, you can give it to one of them because then they won't want to block that because they don't want you to draw a card and make a 4/3.
Exactly.
So, true.
Helps you get around blockers a little bit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. A little bit more of mind games going on. So yeah, that's fine. I think that's a pretty good card.
All right, we'll move on to Order of the Sacred Dusk. 8 mana, so 6 white-black, Orja, 5/5 Vampire Knight. But it has Convoke, which is nice. You can have your creatures help cast it. If it's black or white, it will cost that color. So it could also just be free. For a flying lifelink haste 5/5, has Exalted, and other vampires you control have Exalted. This could be a huge swing turn, I can see.
God, yeah, I haven't seen Exalted in so long. Holy shit.
I mean, it has flying lifelink haste, right? So this is like, I have a board of like 8 1/1 tokens.
Yep.
I tap them all to play this, and I swing with like a 13/13 flying lifelinker.
Yeah.
It seems pretty fucking good.
It seems really good. Yeah.
Because this is obviously what you're attacking with. obviously.
Well, yeah, that makes me want to convoke my whole entire board.
Yeah,
Like,
this is
Yeah.
one you actually want to convoke your whole board and then
Exalted
swing.
is going to trigger then.
Yeah, then the Exalted trigger, this thing's just massive and you gain a fuck ton of life, basically.
Yep.
I like it.
definitely
you
not
will
bad.
be all tapped out then, though, but you do gain a ton of
You
life.
do gain
so
the
why
life
not?
back, so that when you're on the
So
crack back,
you
it's not as
probably don't care, I'm guessing, but obviously you have to set up for that. But
And then the next turn,
that's a pretty good bomb.
Yeah.
bad. Well, and again, if you're playing Edgar, you'll still have a 1/1 token to block too.
True.
That is true.
That's true.
So if
Perfect.
they happen to attack you with a fucking huge thing, you just chump it.
And on the following turns, you only need to attack with that now, and you have all your untapped dudes. So if you survive that whole turn, like you're gravy.
Yeah, then you're set. You're good to go.
Seems really good.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Artwork's
all
better.
right. Yeah, it does. Next we got Hackball of the Surging Soul. It is 2 in Simic or green and blue for a 3/3 legendary Merfolk Scout creature. At the beginning of combat on your turn, each Merfolk creature you control explores.
We found the Explore deck.
Yeah, we sure did. Whenever this attacks, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you don't, draw a card.
Oh, now I get why it's
nice
Simic.
too.
You get to put a land from your hand onto the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
And you buff all of your merfolk when it's not.
And draw a card.
Yeah.
That's Simic.
Yeah,
This is everything Simic.
That is
So
quite
you're like, oh, combat, I explore with everything. It's not a land on top. Darn it. All of them get 1/1 counters.
Damn
I
it, they're
attack
bigger
with
now.
this. I get to draw the card that I just revealed.
Yeah, it's a decent little combo. Very easy to play with that. This by itself is going to do a lot.
I still don't think I would use it as a commander. This looks like a 99 card to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're trying to do the explore thing. Yeah.
We found the explore deck.
There's better commanders, but it's a fine 99 card.
Kids out there don't play explore decks.
Unless you want to not have a super powerful deck because your buddies are telling you that you always win.
Yeah.
Then try and break this one card.
We'll find a way.
Nope.
Next up, we got the Singer of Swift Rivers. It is 1 and Simic, which is green and a blue, for a 3/2 Merfolk Shaman with Flash. When it enters the battlefield, put a shield counter on another target creature you control, and you may cast a Merfolk as though they had Flash.
Yes.
So
love this.
That seems.
I'd probably play this not in a Merfolk deck anyway.
Yeah.
Just because the shield counter is pretty cool. Save a creature. But if you're in a Merfolk deck, it's even better.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Being able to be Flash for a creature type deck is huge. It's pseudo haste, and you kind of read the room if they have counter spells or something. Like you just wait until the end, and you're like, oh, I'm going to flash this in right before my turn. No, I'm going to swing with them.
Yep.
Yeah. This is good. This is really, really good. All right, big
Beautiful.
worm boy.
Ooh, this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
So this is an Oxidol.
Yeah, Zol.
One of those things. Oh, it is my Zoltoyak, the Smiling Flood. Heck yeah. This is a Mudkip. It's a giant.
You like Mudkips?
Do you like Mud? Wow, I haven't thought about that in a while.
Right.
6 mana, 4 in green blue for 6/6 legendary Salamander Serpent. Whenever he enters the battlefield or attacks, so he's a Titan, put a flood counter on target land. That land is an island in addition to its other types for as long as it has a flood counter on it. And at the beginning of your end step, untap each permanent you control with the counter on it. Ooh. I'm kind of sad that the flood counter, they turn into an island in addition to their other types as long as
Right. Yeah. It's not hindering per
not
se.
changes. I swear I've seen flood counters before, and they change them into just islands. Yeah, Quicksilver Fountain. I used to love this card.
Mhm.
That actually changes a non-island into just an island. I'm a little upset about that, but I like
I mean, you get to
untapping.
untap your lands every turn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fucking good.
It's just your end step too. It's not each end step, so
Right.
it's not that.
I guess you
Seaborn
could just be
move.
playing Wilderness Reclamation instead. If you
Yeah,
want that
wilderness.
ability.
It is wilderness wreck.
Yeah.
I miss my Seedborn Muse.
Mhm.
Those-
And
those-
yeah, it's just a counter. It can be anything, right?
yeah,
What?
any type of counter. It doesn't
Yeah.
need to
Yeah.
be that flood. Yeah.
God, this would be like in any token deck. This is good if you can afford it.
You know, one
Just
counter
untap
deck.
all
Yeah.
your fucking shit. You basically have a muse, essentially.
It's only one round, but yeah, it's wilderness wreck. I'd see.
Yeah, it only does it
Oh
at your
yeah,
end.
it is one. It is one. You're right. Yeah, so okay, it's not quite as good as Seaburn Muse,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, that's not bad though.
Love the
It's
art.
all right.
Love it
Yeah,
about.
art's
But
awesome.
It's a salamander
Yeah.
and a
How
serpent.
many, how many salamanders do we have in Magic? I feel like that's a more rare creature type.
dang, disappointed about the islands, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Only on your end.
It's
step.
honestly just medium. I don't even think it's that great.
Yeah.
Like 6
No,
for
it's-
6/6.
no.
It's probably it's the mythic you don't want to open.
If
Yeah, that's probably what. Yeah, especially since it is mythic. It's like,
if it did change them into islands and you just get a hose,
yeah,
certain
that
type
would
of
be
land,
really, really
that
good
would be fun.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
no, they played it safe this one.
Yeah, darn it, Wizards.
They called it flood counters. Come on.
Next up, we have Admiral Brass Unskinnable. It is 2 in Grixis, or blue, black, and red, for a 3/3 legendary creature that's a human pirate. When Admiral Brass Unsinkable enters the
There we go.
battlefield, mill 4 cards. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may return target pirate creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with a finality counter on it. It has base and power toughness 4/4. It gains haste until end of turn.
It's an unskinnable, unsinkable pirate.
Yeah.
Hey, pirates do skin. I can see it. I can see it.
Mhm.
I don't like it. One,
It
it's
honestly
pirate.
does not seem very good.
Yeah.
It's pirate. I mean, if I could return anything like an Archon of Cruelty or like some huge, that would be awesome. But it needs to be pirate. And then
Yeah.
what we were saying before, it's reanimate, but finality counters are like huge.
Yeah,
Like,
again, you can
you
only
wanna
do it
do it
one
over.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
it.
it's a commander for pirates if you're playing pirates, otherwise. And there's probably better ones. So
Yeah, I would say so.
Don't like it.
Especially for the price. Like, it's cost a lot. It's
yeah,
not
and it's
cheap.
only a 3/3 for 5.
Yeah, it's like,
The rainbow's pretty cool. I like the rainbow.
The artwork's cool.
yeah, the artwork's awesome. It's just sad that this doesn't really do more.
Yeah.
Next up, we got Don Andres, the Renegade. 1 in Grixis, which is a blue, black, and red, for a 4/3 legendary creature vampire pirate. Each creature you control but don't own gets +2/+2, has menace and death touch, and is a pirate, in addition to its other types. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell you don't own, create 2 tapped treasure tokens.
Cast? How are we doing this?
Atali.
I get okay. Atali.
So play stuff from your opponent's decks and steal stuff
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the decks.
Yep. Opposition
seems,
agent.
Commander,
seems
I
not
guess.
bad. Seems not
Okay.
bad at all.
Okay.
I guess if you want to make a threatened deck, you could play this. It's your commander.
Yeah, but it's not really like it's casting. Yeah, interesting.
Well, for the bottom part. The top part, you just, if you threaten, you also have 2/2
True.
menace death touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
On top.
Yep.
That's gonna be much easier to trigger, and that's honestly a decent effect. That's pretty good.
Yeah, the menace is nice.
You're probably not gonna have a good time casting.
Yeah, the other part to make the treasures is like, okay, if I villainous wealth you, or I a Tolly or something like that. But
Dothy Voidwalker.
Yeah, Dothy Voidwalker. There's a handful of things, but like it's a very specific deck.
Yeah,
that you would
like you're.
It's interesting. It's interesting
things.
if you wanted to try and build that deck. It's like an interesting thing to try. But
yep.
Overall, I don't think it's that great of a card.
No, it's very situational.
Other than that type of thing,
you have to be in that scenario for it to be like good at all.
All right, we'll move on then. Ooh, I remember seeing this in spoiler season. Another dinosaur.
Yeah.
Pantlaza, Sun Favored. 5 mana, 2 Naya, 4/4 dinosaur. Whenever he or another dinosaur enters the battlefield under your control, you may discover X, where X is that creature's toughness. Do this only once per turn.
That's sad.
That's very, very good. This is very, very, very good.
That is good, though. Yeah. Honestly,
yes, because I want to be able to cascade or discover with my dinosaurs.
Yep.
And then I'm going to play cascade things too, and then I'm just going to play everything for free.
They really did have to make it once per turn because this would have been way too good otherwise.
I swing with Pika Shot and pull out like 3 dinosaurs. If all 3.
Well, if it wasn't per turn, because it's whenever it ETBs, so like you literally could just play one thing and you would infinitely get stuff. Like,
True.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. You would
until you hit like a 0 toughness creature.
Yeah, which you're not going to have. Yeah, this is going to do some work.
Busted
for sure. This is quite busted. It's 5 for a 4/4. That's just gonna go crazy, basically.
Yep, it's good. I mean, it's good even if you don't play dinosaurs because you can just keep flickering itself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that's oh man, that's gonna do some. God, yep. Can't wait to see what this is going to pull into play.
I already hate it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I already can tell this is going to be a pain. This is going to be a problem. This is definitely going to be a problem in so many ways. All right, next we got White Trainer Prodigy. She is Naya for a 1/5 legendary creature human warrior with haste. She has tap 2 in a forest and also tap it. Target creature you control fights another target creature. This ability costs 2 less to activate if it targets 2 creatures you control. If a creature you control being dealt damage causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time.
Enrage.deck.
Yeah, double your enrage.
This is all the enrage.
It's good with that other dino we read earlier because they'll be like, oh, I'm going to have them fight and then they're both going to deal damage twice.
Fling it out. Yeah, this can create some very interesting combos. But I do feel like this is also very much it's very niche again. This is very much a niche thing.
Well, the what do you call it? Stop hitting yourself deck is slowly becoming more viable.
It is. It really is.
Is this finally my stuffy doll deck I can make?
Yeah, you might be able to here. You can play this as the commander.
Well, yeah, I think you're getting there.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
All right, how about that big gearhead man?
Yeah, next up we got Tetsun, the Gnome Champion. It is Jeskai, which is blue, red, and white, for a 2/2 legendary artifact creature Gnome. Whenever it or another double-faced artifact enters the battlefield under your control, mill 3 cards. You may put a artifact card from among them into your hand, and then it has craft with 6 artifacts for 4 mana. And it transforms into the Golden Gear Colossus, which is a 6/6 legendary artifact creature gnome. It's vigilance and trample, and whenever It enters the battlefield or attacks, transform up to one other target double-faced artifact you control, and create 2/1/1 colorless gnome artifact creature tokens. So it's very good with all the craft artifacts in the set because you can just flip them over.
Yeah. There's a couple like that are pretty bonkers. This would go very well with that.
I'm trying to think if there's any other really good double-faced artifacts.
Right. I'm rereading that back. It's just a double. Oh, it is an artifact. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it is an artifact. Yeah.
I
know there's a few in this. There's a few in this set that are pretty decent from what I remember. I can't really remember what exactly.
Well, there's the one that makes a 4/4 every turn. That one's good.
Yeah, that's fine. There's some
the
in
one
the
that
core
there's
set.
the one that flips into the like land that taps to make a gnome struck every turn.
Yeah.
So that's good.
I mean, we can turn anything into an artifact. There's a liquid metal coating.
Yeah, you can make anything an artifact.
Is there a double face card that would be insane to just flip?
Well, I keep thinking like Erebus, the Binding Blade, but like,
yeah,
that's black.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
So it wouldn't fit Jeskai.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like Thing in the Ice. If you turn that into a artifact, just flip it into a freaking Awoken Horror.
All right.
It's like a 8/8 or whatever the hell it is.
I think we're cooking.
Bounces shit to their hand. I
mean,
is what that does.
I mean, let's be for real though. Like that's just bonus, right? If you could flip something, because on each attack you still get 2/1/1s. Like that's good.
Yeah, that's also pretty good. Like I feel like this card does some work.
Yeah, it's kind of like a token artifact thing.
Because if you were going to try and build a gnome deck, this might be the commander to go with.
Yeah, it definitely could work as a gnome commander.
Yeah. To craft this, you need this and 6 artifacts, and in my mind, that's like 6 gnome tokens. Like,
well, or just anything that's been sent to the graveyard.
Anything in the graveyard. You're right. Yeah, you could
just
mill.
KCI a bunch of shit off. And...
yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think if you build around it, it could be good. We'll see. I'm going to probably try and build this deck. So
yeah, I'd definitely be curious to see like what can be done with this card. I'm sure that there's some good combos with it, but I think they're very specific. Like you really have to play for it.
All right, we'll go to the next. Xavier Saul, Infested Captain. He's black, green, blue. For a 3/3 human fungus pirate. Ooh, I read fungus.
Yeah, he's got like mushrooms on his face.
Yeah,
sure does.
I'm a fun guy, so I like fungus. You can tap him, remove a counter from another permanent you control to populate. Activate this only as a sorcery. Or you could tap him again, sacrifice another creature to proliferate. Activate this as a sorcery.
So we got populate and proliferate.
Yeah. This is reminding me a lot of my Gave Guru Spores, but this is more fixed, where he can only do this once, and that's a sorcery.
Yeah, activating on as a sorcery hurts. That's unfortunate. He could have been a lot better if that was not the case. I think
it's definitely got enough utility. You could play it in other decks.
Yeah. He definitely
if you want to be able to populate or proliferate.
He's like a fine 99 card. I don't think he could be a commander.
Yeah, he's kind of weird with commander because you have to build around one or the other usually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's flexible. I'm sure there's, decks that may be good with, where you really want those extra triggers, but it's slow.
It's got cool artwork.
Cool artwork. Art's awesome. Definitely.
Yep. Love the theme. But yeah, pushing you into 2 different directions is not where you want to be.
Yeah. You're going to be getting pulled around. That's not good. All right. Next, so that's multicolor. Multicolor it had some really good stuff. So yeah. We're on the artifacts now. We have Arm Mounted Anchor. It is 3 for our artifact that's an equipment. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has menace. Whenever a equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards unless you discard a pirate card. Then it has equipped 2. This ability costs 2 less to activate if you have 1 or fewer cards in hand.
+2/+2 menace, equipped for 0, but you have to draw 2, discard 2 unless you discard a pirate. So you can't play it outside of pirates?
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Unless you just want to loot a bunch?
I mean, looting's fine, but...
Yeah.
It's a really cool thing because you got a mounted anchor on your freaking arm.
Yeah, it's pretty... the artwork's awesome. This is another really cool card. In the right deck, this can be pretty good, I think. But
I guess you could
it's
use
very
this.
Niche.
I guess you could use this in like a madness deck and just pitch 2 cards immediately.
Oh yeah, you just throw them into play. Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, that's okay.
But yeah, it's very specific though.
Or if you have like a Hellbent deck and you can always equip it for 0 for +2/+2 and menace.
That's true.
But you have to draw the 2 cards and then discard 2.
Yeah, so you're still like milling 2 basically if you do that.
I mean, I feel like they did this all just for that Admiral Brass unskinnable.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty meh.
Yeah, it could have been so much better. Just unfortunate.
Next up, we have a good artifact here. It's Chimli, the Inner Sun, 6 mana for a legendary artifact. Spells you control can't be countered, and at the beginning of your end step, you discover 5.
That's really good.
Yeah, you can't counter my stuff. I get a free spell every turn. What's not to like?
Pretty much, yeah. Basically cascading for 5. Like that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
every single turn.
It's okay. I feel like that's more kind of when more you did pay like 6 mana to do it. I really compare this to like Defense Grid. It's a 2 mana artifact, and it says during each player's turn, each other player's spells cost 3 more to play. So that like is almost spells you control can't be countered, right?
Yeah.
No one can. They have to pay 3 extra to try to counterspell it. Where this is,
But
just,
I mean, you could cheat this in too, though.
you could.
If you could cheat this in, you're in real good shape.
It's true.
Because that bottom effect is very good.
I mean, if you're an artifact, like you probably ramp it to 6 pretty fast.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, artifacts you just go off. In the right kind of deck, this can be very well played. I feel.
I'll have to see how good Discover really is. I don't know. I'm not super high on it, but if Discover 5 every turn is something that's pretty powerful, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be better in like a 1v1 setting than in a commander, just because you get it more often. But
that's true.
Yeah.
That is very true.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it's fine. Like, it's still, some people are going to be annoyed by it and they're going to try and blow it up. So, like, even if it immediately eats a, destroy target artifact, it's like, okay, well, they didn't kill something else.
Yep.
Yeah.
But is that a spot where you want to be?
I don't know. Depends on your deck, I guess.
Yeah. All right.
You got the Eye.
Yeah. I'm up. The Eye of Urtak. 3 mana artifact. It's a mana rock. You tap it, add 1 mana of any color for 3 mana, though. Does have craft with 2 that share a card type with card type 6. Oh, you pay 6 and craft 2 cards that share a type.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we flip to Apex Observatory. It enters the battlefield tapped, and as it enters, choose a card type shared among the 2 exiled cards used to craft it. All right. Then the next spell you cast this turn with the chosen type can be cast without paying its mana cost.
That's a tap.
Yep. So it does enter in tapped. You got to wait a whole turn to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're an artifact deck or instance deck sorcery. It seems pretty good. I like
It's
it.
definitely not bad being able to just cast something for free.
Yeah, I can
I
see it
mean, you
in an
could just do
artifact deck.
creatures.
Mostly.
You could do creatures too.
Creatures
Yeah.
is pretty good.
It's
It
not
seems
bad.
okay. Yeah, I like how it's
Yeah, I feel like
I mean, it's a mana rock for any
it's a mana
colors.
rock.
So,
I
like, if
was
you're in a
seeing
5-color deck, you might consider it.
yeah, I'd say so. In a 5-color deck, this is good, and then
3 mana
You-
though for mana rocks. Not where
I mean,
you
you
want
played
to be.
Lantern in a 5-color deck, right? So, like, is this better than Lantern?
Yeah, right. I would still run Lantern, but it's even those decks. I'm starting to take out Lantern. I don't know.
yeah,
Three is kind of hefty.
It's fine, but the second ability, the transform side is pretty interesting though. I think.
Sounds fun, but
Yeah, it sounds like a fun card. Is it good?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 3-mana
Hard to
mana
say.
rock that with upside. Like,
Yeah,
right. Yeah, but like
Which
I
is
said, 3 mana
not
rocks aren't where
bad,
you want to be. It's not where.
yeah.
It's two
There's
now.
better ones nowadays for sure. So. Alrighty. Next up, we have the Paleontologist Pickaxe. It is 2 for an artifact that's an equipment. Whenever equipped creature attacks, draw a card, then discard a card. It has equipped 1. Then it also has craft with 1 or more creatures, 5 mana. And then it turns into Dinosaur Headdress,
Whoa.
which is an equipment again. When Dinosaur Headdress enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. As Dinosaur Headdress becomes attached to a creature, choose an exile creature card used to craft Dinosaur Headdress. Equipped creature is a copy of the last chosen card. It has equipped 2.
Mm.
All right.
so you could turn your stuff into other stuff.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Like a weird reanimate. I view it right
Interesting, yeah, interesting.
The weird thing is, it's a dinosaur headdress, but it works on non-dinosaurs.
now. On anything.
Yeah, it
It
works
works
on
on
anything.
anything.
That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
anything, a copy of something good that got blown up, I guess.
I mean, the craft cost is 5, which is kind of a lot, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a pretty decent like equipment, though. I guess.
I mean, but if you're turning something into a grave titan,
I mean, yeah, that's pretty good. If that's what you're doing.
And it stays like that forever. So yeah, if your equipped guy dies, you can just equip.
you could
it
just
onto
equip
another
it to
token,
something else and
and
switch
it's
it to
Grave
that too.
Titan again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's like a never-ending dude.
Yeah, exactly. Unless
Yeah,
they blow up the artifact. But
I
yeah,
feel
Yeah.
like it's okay. I feel like in the right deck, this could be pretty.
it's
good.
okay. The front side is whatever. I would like. I
Yeah,
don't
the
really
front
wanna play
side's
that.
fine.
It's a weird reanimate spell.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
we want to view it.
It's a 7-mana reanimate spell.
Yeah,
Hopefully
that's kind
Stayed
of a lot.
there like a non-killable reanimate spell.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, last card.
This card is the Progenitor's Icon. It is 3 mana for an artifact. Choose a creature type when it enters the battlefield. You could tap a mana for any color, or you could tap it. The next spell of the chosen type you cast this turn can be cast as though it had flash.
Ooh, okay.
Is that a 3-mana rock you're worth playing to you?
Almost. I was so hyped on Flash. You know that Merfolk that gives all your Merfolk Flash.
Yeah.
Having your creatures being able to be Flash is pretty big.
Yep, that is not bad.
They're
Can
definitely
flash
making
in
a lot of
whenever you
3-mana
want.
ones to try and tempt you to play them.
Yeah, they really are.
Mhm.
That is not as a decent card. It's definitely decent.
I like how it can produce that mana. You don't have to spend that mana on the creature type or anything. That could be for
Yeah,
anything.
it's just anything.
Yeah, no matter what, even if you choose like Elf, you still could tap a mana of any color always.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
can't-
if the
A
next
lot of
and then the
cards
next
do that.
Elf you could cast with Flash, but yeah.
It doesn't ramp you into that flashed card because you can't use that mana to cast the flashed creature.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems okay. I still don't know if I'm going to run 3-drop rocks.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I would like to see it like in action, and then
I think flashing in your creatures is bigger than
yeah,
it's really
I
good.
mean, if you play Command Sphere, would you play this?
Oh yeah.
Like if you
Command
play
Sphere,
Lantern, would you play this? So like I'm saying, like a 5-color deck, would you consider it? 5-color, you have to be a 5-color tribal, right? Like you'd have to be playing
yeah,
like
I'd be a tribal deck
dragons
or
or something.
yeah, this and dragons wouldn't be bad. That'd be pretty good actually. Flashing in fucking dragons. I mean, yeah,
tough.
yeah. I feel like it might have potential, perhaps.
I mean, it's definitely something you would probably play in that deck because a lot of times, especially if you play like blue in your dragons deck, because a lot of time you're like, I can hold up a counterspell or I could just jam this like 8-drop or 6-drop. So it's like, okay, well, I have this now. Now I can just pass, hold up the counterspell, and then jam in
See
my
what you
dragon
need to do.
instead.
Yeah.
Yep. That's huge. That is
It
huge.
definitely gives you a lot more flexibility for sure.
Mm-hmm.
When you are wanting to, when you have choices to make.
Yep. Flash is huge. Being able to
Flash
know
is
what you need to do at the
nice.
last minute is perfect.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm like, I'm not going to hold up this removal spell and somebody wins the game because of a creature because I tapped out to play a Gashoth.
Yeah. Well, that is the set. What do you guys think?
Overall, I think they've been improving.
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, obviously, you
Yeah.
get most of these. I think if you buy the precons, so.
I feel like it's not as busted as like the core Ixalan set because I know like when Corey and I were talking about this when we were on Into the 99, like there were some crazy fucking cards. Like we couldn't even get through the whole set in the time we had because we were just talking about how crazy some stuff was. And I feel like this has some of that, but I don't think it's as crazy. Like there's, some of it's all like it all kind of has its place. Like there's some stuff that can be kind of bonkers, but there's nothing that's like really crazy. And it's like every single card is, oh my god, I need to play all of these. Like some of these cards are mid at best.
Yeah, they're definitely exploring that niche space more, which is good.
Because they in Commander we really need that. So
that's what I
am
want.
glad to see that for sure. And I definitely look forward to seeing some of these in action, especially in it's enabling some decks that really didn't have much gas or cards to work with that'll actually really help them out. So. Which is a good
Other
see,
than
sure.
Vampires and Merfolk kind of already had a bunch of support.
Well, yeah, they fucking didn't need that. And dinosaurs are already crazy too. Do we really need some of these fucking dinosaurs? But
Gishoth likes.
I guess we had to have the crowd favorites too.
All right, that's going to be it for our show. Again, if you want to support the podcast, you can on Patreon, and you can find all of our content episodes at mtgplace.net, along with the ways to support. You can also find our TCG Player affiliate link if you want to buy any of these cards. Go ahead and click that link in the show notes
down below.
Yeah, and also a button on our website for that, and let them know we sent you over there and help support the show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
Bye-bye.
See ya.